Okay, so I'm working on the makerspace in there, and I've been milling up a lot of maple for the counter, so I've been having some cut-offs pieces as well. This is a prototype that I made a little while back. I glued some pieces together and made a stick board because I needed like a press, a book press. So I put some T-nuts in here and I've been using it to press books in it, and it's been great. But then I was thinking about, why don't I make a larger version, and that way I can use it inside the makerspace and not mess up the counter. Maybe I could make it quite large using all end grain, so it's really strong and durable, yet mobile. And maybe I could deck it out with more things. This is the goal. I don't know if this is going to work, but this is the idea. Maybe I can integrate a vise into this unit. Maybe I could add T-tracks, so I could put like clamps in that could slide and make this really functional. That way, I would have this kind of mobile workstation all decked out where I could chop on, I could carve spoons on it, I could saw on it, I could clamp things, I could hold things in a vise, and I could use it as a press at the same time. That is the idea. We'll see if that works out. So first of all, I had all of these squarish blocks, and these I have cut up as I've been acquiring scrap pieces. Now, they're the same thickness, but not always the exact same width, so the trick is to arrange them like a puzzle to make them all work for one board. I love puzzles, so I thought this was kind of fun. Once I had everything arranged, I glued them all up. I decided to put glue on everything before clamping, so I'm trying to move rather quickly before it dries. Now the key here is functionality, so I don't really care if it's not absolutely perfect. This will be a workboard. And then of course clamping it all together. And I think I used almost every clamp I've got. A couple of hours later, time to remove them. Then before the glue completely dries, I always like to scrape off as much as possible, because then it's just a lot easier and there's no point in wasting sandpaper on removing dried glue. And I also mixed some sawdust with glue and filled in some of the gaps. Finally, sanding. I'm using a heavy-duty belt sander, and everything was great until I started having a few issues with the sander once I was done with one side, and I realized the drive belt had broken. Now, I had planned on finishing this project, but this kind of put a stop to that. So instead, I decided to shift gears, go into the shop and work on something completely different. So I have this old Yamaha receiver here. This is like 20 years old, it was a high-end receiver and it's worked great for years. Now the light started flickering and then finally just stopped working. And it seemed kind of a shame to throw this out, so instead I've been working on trying to replace this light. Of course, when this light was put in, it was not an LED bulb and it's AC power. So instead, I've been trying to replace it and put in an LED bulb and of course transfer this to DC power. So I built a rectifying circuit here and now it's all about putting this back in here and hopefully I can get more use out of this unit. So the main thing here is turning AC power into DC power. So AC power moves like this, back and forth, and DC power moves like this, one way. So in order to keep AC power going one way, you build this little rectifying circuit using diodes. And if you want to learn more about that, Google rectifying circuit. This is going to go in here, and that will light up this LCD screen, so that you can actually, you know when it's on or off and it displays the information on here. So I put the LED light in this old unit and now I'm soldering the LED light to here. shrink to down. Now that is soldered on, and I should hook this all up on the receiver. So the boards are glued in. Let's try it out. And the light works. You can see. Very nice. So I hot glued this in here. I have this board here. I put the LCD section back in, but I seem to have more screws that I need to put it back together. So maybe I'm missing something, need to find somewhere to put them. But it works. And it was fixed for just a few dollars. So now I have a fully functional receiver as opposed to throwing it out. It's amazing what a difference a little light can make. Whether something working and something not working. Very cool. Okay. So that's sometimes how a project can go, but I thought instead of waiting to put that video up until I'm all complete, why don't I show you kind of what I'm working on in between, because I tend to do a lot of different things that I don't actually show on video. So let me know if you like that kind of style, and also if you want to see more of my vlogs, you can check out my Patreon campaign. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!